Hi friends, Ryan from Barn 3 here, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can program one of our OXU switches to work with any of the Eventide factor pedals, including the time, pitch, and mod factors, as well as the Eventide space. Now it's good to remember that any of our OXU pedals will work with these pedals I just mentioned, including the OXU 3 and the OXU Mini. However, for the time, mod, and pitch factors, I recommend that you use the OXU standard, mainly for its sleek ergonomic design. A little bit later, I'll show you why I recommend for the Eventide space pedal that you use the OXU 3. Now, if you decide that you want to use our optional Barn 3 OXU mounting plate to secure everything together, we do recommend that you do all the programming on the pedals first to make sure it's working, because once it's mounted on here, you won't have access to the slide switch that's on the back of the pedal. So we'll go over all the programming first, and then we'll have a separate video that'll go over some of the reasons why you might want to use the mounting plate, as well as the installation instructions for this product. It's also good to note that with every OXU that you buy, it's going to come with an included 11.5-inch custom Barn 3 TRS cable, as well as a custom power adapter. Now this is only used for Boss pedals, so for our Eventide pedals, we are not going to use this. Now for most of you that are using a pedal board that has openings in it that you can route cables underneath, the included 11.5-inch cable is probably going to be just fine for you. But if you're using a pedal board that is flat, you can't get cables underneath, you'll notice that the OXU is inset a little bit from the factor pedal. Our included cable can't quite be plugged in all the way without offsetting the OXU. That's why we also have on our website an optional 10.5-inch cable specifically for the factor pedals that is a slightly longer head that can accommodate that offset. Okay, let's program our OXU to work with our time factor here. First thing we have to do is make sure that our OXU is configured properly to work with the Eventide pedals. So you'll notice on the back of your OXU, you have a slide switch here, and you also have one on the bottom. All we have to do for the Eventide pedals to work is we have to slide this slide switch all the way to the left to the N position, which stands for normal. And also on the bottom, we'll slide it to the left this way to the NSM position. Now we're going to plug in the OXU on the left-hand side with a TRS cable. Make sure that we're in the aux switch input on the back of the factor pedal. Then I'm also going to plug in a Tesla tap to the right side of our OXU, because I'm going to program that as well. Now you may know that the factor pedals have two different modes they can operate in. One's bank mode, the other's play mode. When using an aux switch, the best configuration is going to be to have it in bank mode. So I'll just show you how you do that in case you're in play mode right now. All you have to do is press and hold the rightmost foot switch for a couple seconds. You'll see things change around. Right now this is play mode. And if we go back again, now we're in bank mode. So we have preset 1, preset 2, and this is bank up. Okay? Now let's program our aux switch to do what we want it to do. I'm going to press and hold the encoder knob as well as the rightmost foot switch for a couple seconds. Then we're going to scroll until we see aux switch. We're going to press the encoder knob. Now, since we have bank up here, I want this to be bank down. So I'm going to scroll until I see bank down. And then all you have to do is press the foot switch and ring shows up. Now I want this to be on the time factor. I'm going to have this be my repeat function. So we're going to look for repeat. There we go. And then I want this to be my tap tempo. So we're going to go back to tap, press this. Now you can choose to program your aux switches in many different ways, but for this particular pedal, this is what I would recommend. So let's go ahead and back out. All we have to do is press and hold the encoder knob and the rightmost foot switch for a couple seconds. And now you'll see that we have bank up, bank down. If we're in a preset, this would activate the repeat function, repeat on, repeat off, and this will be our tap tempo. Now, as you may know, the space pedal is slightly different in how it operates than the other factor pedals. It doesn't have banks, it just has presets. So when we're in preset mode, the right foot switch scrolls up in presets, the middle switch scrolls down in presets, and the left switch activates or bypasses the preset you want. When we're in play mode, the left switch activates, the middle switch does the hot switch, and the right switch does your tap tempo. Now, with the benefit of an OXU 3, we can actually get the best of both worlds here and get all that functionality with these two pedals. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that our OXU is set up in the right configuration again. We're going to make sure that this back slide switch and the bottom slide switch are all the way to the left. On the back, it's the N for normal position, and the bottom, it's NSM. We're going to use a 1/4-inch TRS cable to connect them. Then we're going to program our space pedal. We're going to start by pressing the rightmost foot switch as well as the encoder knob for a couple seconds. We're going to scroll to aux switch, press the encoder knob, and then we're going to scroll all the way to the right until we see FS1, which stands for foot switch 1. We're going to press our left OXU switch. Then we're going to scroll to FS2, press the middle one. Then we're going to scroll to FS3 and press the right one. Now we can go ahead and back out of this by pressing and holding the encoder knob and the rightmost foot switch for a few seconds. Now that we're backed out, we're going to make sure that our space pedal is in play mode. You can tell that it's in play mode because your active button is either yellow or there's no light. When it's in preset mode, it will be red. So we'll go back to play mode. And now what we have is the OXU is doing all the preset mode functions, and the space pedal is doing the play mode functions. So what we have is we have preset up, preset down, select preset. This would be your active or bypass. This is our hot switch, and this is our tap tempo. So now you have all the functionality between the two pedals. And that's how you can program your OXU to work with the Factor and space pedals. If you have any other questions, please visit us at barn3.com.